So Liverpool reach the League Cup semi-finals with a dominant 5-1 win over West Ham at Anfield. The win keeps them on course for a record-extending 10th triumph in the competition. But despite the big win, Jurgen Klopp wasn't completely satisfied as he took aim at his own supporters.
We need Anfield on Saturday. Without Anfield, I would say after they didn't play this week, just to make sure I know. Sorry, they didn't play. They prepare for this game, and who knows a little bit about them, they will be prepared. So we need Anfield on their toes from the first second. Without me having an argument with the opposition coach, whatever, we need you from the first second. So if you really want, if it's too much football in December, I don't know. Sorry, we have to play it as well. But if you are not in the right shape, give your ticket to somebody else. No, the negativity was around us, and the stadium not. Just not the excitement I felt about the performance. I thought it's a performance you really can enjoy. So many good performances, so many good individual performances, so many challenges to celebrate, stuff like this. But we were only 1-0 up and had a game where we had a lot of shots and didn't score. So I thought we could. But if it's the warming up for Saturday, I'm happy.
You're shaking your head, Dino. What's the problem?
That's the first time I've ever heard that from a Liverpool manager. Giving the crowd a team talk. Give your ticket to someone else. I mean, that stadium, that's the best stadium I've ever played in when it's full. It's full every week nearly. The crowd are behind the team every week. That's the first time I've heard a manager saying that.
I mean, in all fairness, I have been to Anfield where it's been a little mooted, shall we say.
Have you?
Yeah.
Normally it's when the other team have got the ball.
No, apart from at the start with You Never Walk Alone. Obviously amazing, wonderful. That does stir the emotions, but I mean, it's like any ground. It depends how a game is going. Having said that, that was a game that they were winning quite comfortably. It was a Brentford game. But yeah, it wasn't the atmosphere I fully expected. But I also understand that depending on the kickoff times, it can vary in terms of an atmosphere. I think this was a 2:00 kickoff or something like that I went to, that I'm referring to. But it is unusual to hear Jurgen Klopp speak out like he has done with regards to the fans. But if there is any way for the fans to be stirred up now and to be preparing for Arsenal, it was that victory last night that we saw.
Yeah, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, you must like what you're watching at the moment. I mean, they've had 63 shots in the last two games against Man United and against West Ham last night. I thought from the start of the game, you would say, if you had to sum the game up, Liverpool outworked, outfought, didn't outclass West Ham, just outworked and outfought them from the off, right from the kickoff.
Oh, I think they did outclass them.
Well,
West Ham didn't turn up.
The class football, well, it's a bit of both. Liverpool making them play badly by just pressing them. You can see what he's doing. Apparently he's got the players in and said, this is year one again. He's building a new team. The high line they played last year, they struggled a bit because I think he felt like the legs had gone in the middle of midfield, so he signed some legs. Szoboszlai scored a great goal last night. Endo, Gravenberch, he wasn't playing last night, but Gakpo's another one. Nunez, all of them worked their socks off. All sprinting, all closing down. If someone passes the ball back to the goalie, they don't let the goalkeeper have time on the ball. Man United's keeper kicked the ball out of play about 15 times in the last game. This goalkeeper kept kicking out of play. They just outpressed West Ham. Don't get me wrong, West Ham, you're right, never turned up, but it was compounded by Liverpool not letting any of their players pick their head up. They couldn't keep the ball. They just kept closing them down. If the next man never got it, the next man got it. And now when you've got a group of midfield players like Elliott, Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, they can all run and they're all working, closing down. You can play a high line at the back, and all of a sudden Van Dijk looks like he's got the line right. Nunez, you feel a bit sorry for him. He's not scored, but all you can do is keep working your socks off and the goals will come.
Yeah, as long as you're in the right place.
Yeah. But I thought they played well.
Yeah, no, they did. They were brilliant, Liverpool. And by the way, Luke, Liverpool fan, thank you very much for your text this early morning already. He says, I'm a Liverpool fan, but Klopp is 100% right. How many times do we say the crowd is the 12th man? Anfield against Manchester United was the quietest I've ever heard in the 25 years I've been a supporter.
Yeah, maybe because there's 8,000 new seats. Maybe that had something to do with it, or they were expecting to roll Man United over 6-0. Man United sat back. Again, Liverpool stopped Man United again out of their half. I think you'll watch as the season goes on, Liverpool are just overpowering teams athletically. Not Man City type football, where it's just nice to watch, class, pop in the ball. They just overpower you in a different way. Athletes working hard. If you don't work hard, you can't play for Liverpool. Simple.
Oh, well, I get that, and we saw them work hard yesterday, but my goodness, I think West Ham helped them a little bit with how they turned up. And I think I saw Tony Cottee tweet last night saying something about being at the game, and he left early. He was that disappointed with it, and he said that the 6,000 or so fans that had travelled, he just felt sorry for them because they had to suffer through that. And I think I saw West Ham fans even saying, if you were going to make 6 changes for a League Cup quarter-final, and not obviously, and I realise that David Moyes is never going to tell the fans that he's going to make those many changes, but he did make those changes, and those West Ham fans travelled with the hope and expectation they'd at least put in a game. You can understand why so many West Ham fans may well be disappointed with what they saw yesterday.
How do you feel, by the way, when he's bringing... I think they were 3 or 4 down, and then Salah stands up and Trent starts bringing the subs on. Diaz, you're right, and what compounded the whole thing, I think, is it Ogbonna?
Mm-hmm.
His effort to stop Curtis Jones gliding through the middle of the pitch. It was like, go on, in you go.
That was a parting of the Red Sea, wasn't it, for Curtis Jones? It was like, come on then, you just walk through and a terrific solo goal to finish things off for Liverpool. But yeah, I think there's a lot of issues in terms of just looking back on that game for West Ham, that they'll wonder why they made it so easy for Liverpool. And I know
didn't do the basics.
Yeah, and I know you've mentioned obviously Liverpool's press being a huge key thing for them, but for some of them to back off like they did. I mean, you look at Dominic Szoboszlai. You mentioned him. He's the one that opened up the scoring for Liverpool. All his goals for Liverpool this season have come... They've been incredible goals where he's been given space to be able to shoot. And they're not even... I say shoot. They're incredible, wondrous, thunderous strikes, a lot of them. And you just sort of think, has no one learnt yet? They don't give him that space to have a shot like he had. But anyway...
Again, you go to Anfield, you got to do the basics. You can't get outworked and you can't get outfought. Mm-hmm. And they did. If you're going to get beat, it's by a bit of genius from Salah. The Man United game, they had 30-odd shots. They didn't go in. Yeah. But they scored early enough last night to make West Ham try and come out and score. But the only positive for West Ham was Jarrod Bowen's goal.
Oh, terrific.
Great goal.
Terrific goal, certainly.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.